Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today, as I do every month, we are going to be going over all of the spoilers for the next month or so. If you do not want any spoilers for Gems of War, I would advise clicking off of this video now. We're going to be spoiling several things, mostly just the upcoming Kingdom troops, or not like the new Kingdom, but just the events that are going to be happening for the next 4 weeks. That's essentially the only really juicy thing that are in the game right now, as far as that we can look ahead in. So all you got to do is just go to properties, local files, browse local files, and you can go and see all of them yourself. Just go to res, let's go to graphics, and we'll be able to see the next 4 kingdoms right up somewhere around here. Here we go. No clue what order they'll be coming in, but as you can see, we have some kind of elf and a very nice looking thorn dragon of some kind. Something else that's going to be interesting about him, I'll be going over all of the abilities later on, but one thing that I can confirm based on the comparison of the files is he will be able to destroy a column, do damage to all the enemies, and he will be able to entangle on 4 times and 5 times pairs. And he entangles the first slot every single time too. So I believe that's everything that he's going to be having. So he's going to be pretty powerful. Obviously a legendary, since he has a legendary trait. Because I don't think it'll be her. She doesn't look that legendary. He definitely does. And the fact that like 80% of the dragons in the game are currently dragons. Or, yeah. Wait, currently 80% of the dragons in the game are legendary, I meant to say. What was that? Here we have Wild Plains. It's getting 2 more. He has blood on his hand. It's some kind of boar thing. We actually have, for the first time ever, 3 troops coming in for Groshnak. Something else to note about this creature over here is this is the new Maul whenever it comes out. This creature right here is going to be legendary, as it seems, and he'll have a 5% chance to devour on Skull Match. So basically Maul, who had 15%, except he's cut all the way back down to only 5%. So if he devours, that's going to be like the biggest rage quit ever if he devours with only a 5% chance. But he'll be able to devour on Skull Matches, just like Maul did, at a 10% lower percentage that he used to. And let's see what else. We already saw that. And there should be one more. Broken Spire. It's getting some kind of like lava lizard thing, as well as something that looks like a combination of almost between like Shegra and Gorgoltha, I want to say. It kind of reminds me more of Gorgoltha. Actually, Moloch and Gorgoltha. It's kind of like the in-between of both of those, appearance-wise. But that's all of those. I don't believe there's any more in the troops. I don't think I even tried checking. The only thing that's really interesting in here, that's still in here, is, of course, the new dragons. But I already showed them last time. Rainbow Snake! Anyone on stream? Yeah, we spam Rainbow Snake a lot for no reason at all. But that's basically it for the new ones. And of course, the new epic for the next kingdom and all that. Next kingdom, one thing that was confirmed on it recently is it's coming in 2.1. It's not coming in 2.01. So it's going to be at least about another month probably until we see the new kingdom. Probably as soon as all 4 of these events go, the one following it will probably be the new kingdom. But let's go all the way back and go into the text, go into English US, and then you double click on world, and that would bring you to this. You can open it in any text editing software, just whatever you have. And here we can see all of the dragon ones that are going to be in that next kingdom are all to be determined. They still haven't decided what they'll be. That, or they understand or already know that I do these spoiler videos and they don't want to spoil it. I don't know. But regardless, they're not in the files as of currently, which makes me believe it's going to be at least another month away before we see the new kingdom. Since they update a month in advance, they haven't even touched any of them yet. But if we go down a little bit further, we see Serpentine Dagger, already got that. But now we start getting into the newer ones. Elven Star, create 8 blue and 8 green gems. All allies gain 1 life. All of these I'll be showing right now are for troops that are going to be into the game soon, or within the next probably 4 weeks between events. Which ones get which abilities is slightly hard to tell exactly on some of them. Thornblade, we can see this might be that one of these 2 is probably that one lady we saw to the left for the Forest of Thorns one. Thornblade deal damage to the first enemy and then remove all red gems to boost the damage and then entangle them. So that's actually pretty good. This one, which I almost know for sure, is the new dragon one. Is Tremor, explode a column, then deal damage to all enemies. So a very strong full AoE troop probably, since it can do so much mana. Something else that we can actually see, which I don't believe I showed, is if we go over to get back out of here, go back over to graphics 3, and one of the reasons why I think it's him too with the column destroy. If we go over to spells, spell cards are actually in order. They're the only thing that's like kind of in order. For the most part, whenever they add, or always whenever they add new ones, it's towards the bottom. And what makes me think that the dragon has the destroy column is if you look at this image here, well, it's destroying right down the row, or column, I mean. So it would make sense that he would get it. The destroy column thing with a visual like that. And there's the blessing one. You can see that's the sword one, and here's all the other ones that I'll be reading. And then you can see, based on when they were uploaded, you can see that mythic weapon that just came in recently, then the rock troll, and it's just pretty much goes in order for the most part. And let's go back into this. But Tremor, yeah, explode a column and deal damage to all enemies. Next up, we have Migrate. This is likely one of the ones from Wild Plains. Transform all purple to red, and then a 40% chance to summon a winged bison, which is obviously that bison thing that we saw earlier. Boosted by gems transformed. Unfortunately, none of these will show a boost ratio. Hunting season. And whenever you see a number like this too, just these ones, that doesn't mean it's doing one. That means it's going to be raised based on magic and boost ratio. It's just a placeholder for the number that's going to be showing, and then it changes accordingly. Deal damage to a random enemy. Deal double damage if they have Hunter's Mark, and then place Hunter's Mark on them. Really nice right here to see another Hunter's Mark. There is very, very little Hunter Mark in the game as of currently, so this will be a really nice troop. It's another one of those troops that do double based on the status that it already applies. Something a little bit different about this one, though, is it's completely random. You don't get to choose who it is unless they end up changing that. And that's probably that boar lady that we saw for Groshnak. Next up, we have Absol Portal, which I don't believe is any of them that we actually saw. It deals damage to the last two enemies, and if there are 13 or more purple gems, summon a random daemon. And that can actually be very strong if it summons something like Abrath or another legendary daemon. Feral Tusk, destroy a row, deal damage to the first enemy, boosted by Skulls Destroyed. That will probably be like a 2 times, 3 times ratio. Probably 3 times. Depends on what its damage and traits are. Extract Spirit, create 8 red gems, summon an Anointed One, which is very interesting. Anointed One is actually an epic from Darkstone, so I'm pretty sure this Extract Spirit, whatever this is probably for Darkstone for probably like 5, 6, 7 weeks from now. Which is kind of interesting that they actually updated the files that far, because none of those that we saw earlier are from Darkstone. But the devs did mention in chat one day that Darkstone is coming soon. I guess when they say soon, that means 5 to 8 weeks. Anguish, explode 2 random gems, and then gain to a random skill. And that'll probably be based on magic. Writs of Faith, that's interesting. That's actually to be determined, same as what is that? Flagellate. Flagellate. I don't even. But none of those seem to be in here yet. Rites of Faith, maybe Whitehelm? I don't know. Gearlock, obviously this one's probably going to be Adana. Give all allies 5 armor. Summon either a Bombot, which doesn't exist currently. I'm pretty sure based on the next one saying Kaboom, that is a Bombot right there. Bombot, which currently doesn't exist. Flame Cannon or Tankbot 2000. So yeah, this is definitely an Adana troop. All those are Adana troops, and Bombot obviously probably will be same as Gearlock. So this is definitely Adana Kingdom right here, these two. And then Kaboom, explode 2 random gems, deal damage to all enemies, boosted by my armor. That's going to be really interesting, because currently most mechs don't really have anything that improves based on armor. And then destroy himself. That's very interesting as well. He's completely suicidal, probably does a lot of damage. And then there is, what is that? Disintegrate. Yeah. Silence, stun, and drain. Wow, that's a lot of things. Silence, stun, and drain mana from an enemy with a 25% chance to destroy them. That is very, very powerful. That might even be legend status. That is very strong. That almost seems better than a silent one to a degree, because that's a silence, that's a stun, and a drain all in one. Silence used to drain mana as well, but then they end up removing it. And then there are two more, Sonata and Butt. I have no clue why one of them is named Butt. I mentioned this to my guild earlier, and yeah, there's a something in the files named Butt as a cast. I don't know what's up with that. Based on Sonata, I want to think that this is a Pan's Veil. Both of these are a Pan's Veil kingdom, since that's kind of like the sound-oriented kingdom. Next, we have Heroic Deeds. They almost did all of these files for like 2 months in advance as far as events go. Heroic Deeds deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy has higher attack than me, deal double damage, that's going to be really interesting. Heroic Deeds with that. Because in most instances, your enemy will have a higher attack than you, unless if you're trying to keep your own attack low. That should normally happen. Next out, we have Stone Draught. Transform a selected mana color to brown, and then cleanse all allies. Okay, here is finally the transform that we've all been waiting for. I don't know. Some of us might have been waiting for it. Transform to brown. Now, whenever this comes into the game, that means every single troop in the game will now have a convert color. There's skulls, and there's one for every single one of the 6 colors. So once this troop comes in, it'll have that. It's also another cleanse all, so I think that's like the 3rd, 4th troop with cleanse all, so that'll be really effective as well. Dragon Blade, that's very interesting. That sounds like, let's see, on the house, Royal Decree. Why did I say Decree? Dragon Blade. I'm curious if this might be a new dragon class, or if it's actually going to be something for the new Dragon Kingdom. Who knows? And I have no clue what the other two will be. Obviously, they're to be determined. And we have Primal Arrow. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by all enemy magic. If there is 13 or more red, summon a armored boar. And actually, this might be the one that we saw earlier, because if we go back to the files real quick, armored boar. Well, there's only one thing that's an armored boar around here, and that is that thing right there. That's obviously an armor and boar. So that's an armored boar. So that's her ability then. So yeah, they're connected that way. So I'm curious what an armored boar does then. But yeah, we'll find that out soon, hopefully. And if we go all the way down, we have 3 interesting things that we can see as far as new legendary traits. As you can see there, right there, there's Lion's Wrath. That's already in the game right now. But if we go down one more, Dragon Vine. So obviously, there's like no doubt now. I forgot to read this earlier. But Dragon Vine, this is obviously the dragon that we saw earlier. And it entangles the first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. Or, if it's 4 times or more, it will entangle the first enemy. So that is actually going to probably be very popular given how meta quite a few of the Skull decks currently are. Because this will just completely hard counter them if you can just get 1 4 times match and then boom, they're entangled. And they then have to cleanse or just worry about it some other way. So this dragon's actually probably going to be very popular, especially since it does full AoE. You'll be able to put it with other full AoE decks and other stuff like that. Technomancy, this is probably going to be one of the 2 Adana ones. Decrease a random enemy's magic by 2 on 4 times or higher matches. So that's actually going to be probably fairly popular too. If you're not using a skull spam team, quite a few of the other popular teams use very high magic, so that'll be a strong counter to it. And the last one is the mini maul, I'm calling it for now. Voracious, 5% chance to devour on skull damage. That's exactly Maul's ability, just 5% instead of 15%. So we'll see how much people complain about that. Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be very trollish. If that thing ever triggers, it's going to be facepalm worthy. Like 5% is a very, very, very small number. But when that triggers, that is going to be so devastating to a team. And it's obviously a legendary trait because it wouldn't be here if it wasn't. I'd highly doubt a lot of things would get that trait. And it would probably just be on that one snake-like maw face thing that we saw earlier. But that's going to be very interesting how the meta reacts to basically the maul coming back in a mini form. But yeah, that is basically essentially everything that I found. I know there's quite a few other secrets here and there. I didn't bother delving too deep into it. We might as well keep some of it a secret. But that is the spoiler video for the next month or so. Whenever new information comes out, I will let all of you know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone.